It's now 8:46 on the 18th of April, a Saturday night, 2026. The moon is now a thin crescent to the west and slightly north. It's about 5 degrees from Venus, which is quite bright, and so it has now become the evening star. What you're looking at here is Messier 98, a galaxy in Coma Berenices, magnitude 10.1. Nice edge-on view, 9.4 by 2.3 arc minutes, 60 million light years distant. This galaxy, even as large as it is at 60 million light years, is roughly about the size of Messier 31, 155 or so thousand light years in diameter. Now, looking at it, because the Messier data on the Gemini 2 handset does not give you the Hubble Divulculair's morphological type description, abbreviations, what do you think this one is? It's got a bright, small central core, doesn't seem to have much of a bar. There's hardly any spiralicity that's spinning off of it. So you've got a core, and then you have nebulosity with apparently some nice dark regions and bright regions in it. So we are getting quite a bit of textural detail. I would say it's a quite nice view of Messier 98 to begin the NGC 3950 to 3999 series on a night that is populated by high thin clouds, but perhaps a little more transparent than last night. Let us begin. NGC 3951 is a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 13.6, right in the middle of the field at 30x, which means we actually have pretty good transparency tonight. Because when we can see 14th magnitude in bright 13.5 to 14 magnitude galaxies in the sky's middle third, we are doing quite well. Clearly the galaxy has a neighbor. It was probably in the 39 sub 50 area. 3950 was too far north for imaging. 3951 is magnitude 13.6, 1.1 by 0.5 arc minutes, spiral with peculiarities, which probably means it has a neighbor tugging at it. 291 million light years distance, so maybe somewhere around 85,000 light years in diameter. Right ascension is 1153.41 with a declination plus 23.22.55. I do believe I have roughly 35 studies this evening, which is a little more than the 30 that I normally expect, so we do have to move through this series relatively quickly. NGC 3952 also seems to be apparent in the field of view. It is a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 13.1, so slightly brighter, 1.6 by 0.6 arc minutes. Spiral with a lowercase m, so it doesn't seem to have any core at all to it. More like an extended nebulosity, cigar-shaped. 72 million light years distant. RA is 1153.40, declination minus 3 degrees, 59 minutes, 46 seconds. That distance and size means it's probably somewhere around 35,000 light years in diameter. NGC 3957 is that brightish galaxy right near the diffraction bar. North-south orientation, north, south, east, west. Galaxy in crater, magnitude 11.8. Let's take it up to 100% e-zoom. 71 million light years distant, 2.9 by 0.7 arc minutes, so probably somewhere around 60K in diameter. Right ascension 1154.01, declination minus 19 degrees, 34 minutes and 10 seconds. We are climbing our way north. Here I have this 105x best optimized view shot. NGC 3959 may be seen in the at 30x, but no, I don't think it was actually. It is a galaxy in crater, magnitude 14, 1.1 by 0.9 arc minutes, spiral with a bar and a lowercase a. We're seeing the core with some vague extensions, 257 million light years distant. So once again, probably somewhere around 70K in diameter. Right ascension 1154.37 with a declination of minus 7 degrees, 45 minutes and 24 seconds. 3962 is right behind that diffraction bar, but it is making its presence known. It's a galaxy in crater, magnitude 10.7, 3.4 by 2.8 arc-minute, elliptical, 83 million light-years distant, so about 70K in diameter. I'm going to push it up to 100%, 150x. Right ascension is at 11:54:39, declination minus 13 degrees, 58 minutes, 29 seconds. NGC 3964, look for it. Okay, it's a faintish galaxy, isn't it? Let's push it all up to 105x. It's a galaxy in Leo. Magnitude 13.9, seems a little fainter than that. 0.9 by 0.7 arc-minute lenticular spiral, 383 million light-years distant, maybe 110K in diameter. RA 11:54:53 with a declination of plus 28 degrees, 15 minutes and 43 seconds. I'm seeing some extensions. Let's push it up. Yeah, east-west extensions on NGC 3964. Okay, I want to spend a little time on this next galaxy. It's the first galaxy I found that, first off, couldn't be seen in a 17.5-inch scope by Steve Gottlieb, and it did not have a visual magnitude spec. I suspect it's this faint galaxy here. But let's go ahead and push it all the way up to 105x. In the Gemini 2, it says NGC 3965 is a galaxy in crater. It's magnitude 16.1, one of the faintest I've come across yet, but it's actually quite close to its visual magnitude. 16.1, I've seen 17th magnitude ellipticals that are really 15. This is 0.6 by 0.3 arc-minutes, just listed as a spiral. 654 million light-years distant means it's probably somewhere around 140K, 1,000 light-years in diameter. Right ascension is 11:54:23 with a declination of minus 10 degrees, 52 minutes and 1 second. Now I gathered some data on this. First off, Steve could only make this out barely through a 24-inch scope. All right, it's quite present on our screen here, if that's indeed what it is. It's also a visual based on its size, I've determined that it is probably magnitude 15.5, so 0.6 arc-minutes, 0.6 magnitudes brighter in the visual than it is in the photographic. It is now based on its size, it is minus 1.5 magnitudes fainter in its average surface brightness, putting it at about magnitude 14. Okay. Now, when you do an average brightness between 14 and 15.5, you get something like 14.7. Now, 14.7 would then become the upper limit for a 2-foot or 24-inch telescope. Now, I did tell you this is at minus 10 degrees, 52 minutes, which is one of the reasons why it's so hard to make out. I cannot also be sure that this galaxy here is, in fact, 3965. It could be this fainter galaxy. What I'll have to do is do some research on the morrow, or perhaps you should. Go to adventuresindeepspace.com, type in 3965, and see if you can figure it out, remembering the magnitude that I've predetermined it to be is about 15.5 visual, because he does not list the magnitude. Now, the size 0.6 by 0.3 hints at the possibility, because it's only listed as a spiral, that it is this vague glowing orb here, but this one is much more present. Now, 150x, 100% e-zoom gathers up all the photonage possible, but it is still quite present, but we've already had 35 stacks with a total of 180 seconds, now 36, exposure. So we are going way beyond what I normally would get at 6 stacks using the scope, which I determine is between 30 and 36 inches in equivalent aperture. We could be way up there. 45-inch scope, 60-inch scope based on that number of stacks. But, so this may very well be the galaxy. I also recommend you go to theskylive.com where you can plot out some of these neighboring galaxies around it to be absolutely sure this is NGC 3965. But it was a great exploration of the numbers, anticipating, and I think we can be pretty confident that its visual magnitude is probably around 15.5, even though its photographic is listed as 16.1. Okay, let's move on. NGC 3966 is quite visible in the field, and we will have absolute confidence that it is, in fact, the galaxy. In Ursa Majoris, it's also 3986. Spiral with a lowercase a at bright core, 150 million light years distant, 2.8 by 0.6 arc minutes. So that's pretty clear, isn't it? At 150 million light years distant, it's probably somewhere around 140,000 light years in diameter, RA 115644 with a declination of plus 320116. NGC 3967, look for it. I'm not quite seeing it there. Maybe. Oh, it's that brightish galaxy with a very tiny galaxy in crater. Oh, come on. We can't be seeing a magnitude 15. But it's a lenticular spiral, so it's probably around magnitude 14 visual. 1.6 by 1.2 arc minutes, 262 million light years distant. No more quotes on size. RA 115510 with a declination of minus 7, 50, 39. 3968 seems to be quite a presence there. I'll tell you more about it when we get up to 105x, 20 arc minute field laterally. It's a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 11.8, 2.7 by 1.9 arc minutes, spiral with a bar, lowercase bc, 288 million light years distant. RA 115528 with a declination of plus 11 degrees, 58 minutes and 4 seconds. We got our 6 stacks. Moving on. NGC 3969 is quite apparent in the field. Let's check out its particulars. It's a galaxy in crater, magnitude 13, 1.4 by 0.9 arc minute, spiral with a bar, lenticular A, so half times removed. If it was, it's a SBOA, not an SBA. It's got a ring to it, 296 million light years distant, RA 115509, declination of minus 18 degrees, 55 minutes, 38 seconds. A ring would appear as a very clear frontier. 13th magnitude galaxy, however, the annularity would be around magnitude 17. I'm not seeing it tonight. NGC 3970 behind that diffraction bar, but still several galaxies visible. Galaxy in crater, magnitude 14, 1.2 by 0.5. Yeah, that's probably this one here. Lenticular spiral, yep, bright core, 257 million light years distant, RA 115528 with a declination of minus 12, 0340. NGC 3971, scoping around for it. Nothing obvious. Oh, yeah, that bright starry looking thing was actually the galaxy. In Ursa Majoris, it's also NGC 3984. Magnitude 13.1, 1.4 by 1.2 arc minute lenticular spiral. So we were just seeing the core like a bright star, although it was a bit fuzzy. 298 million light years distant, RA 115536, declination plus 29 degrees, 59 minutes, 45 seconds. Oh, here's our 150x view. We are starting to see those extensions, and it has a nice saucer shape edge-on galaxy to the south and the east. NGC 3973 is quite apparent, if that's in fact our galaxy. Looks like it has an annularity and a neighbor. Galaxy in Leo, magnitude 15.4. That can't be it. Well, if that's photographic. No, this one's much smaller. So we must be looking for this one here. Spiral, 4.4 by 0.3 arc minutes. However, it could be this here too. Disambiguating is tough. Steve Gottlieb. Spiral, 277 million light years distant, so quite tiny. RA 115537 with a declination of plus 11, 59, 48. NGC 3974 behind that diffraction bar. Let's push it up. It's a galaxy. Well, there's several here. Galaxy in crater, magnitude 14, 1.2 by 1.1 arc minute. So it's not this edgy on one. It's probably this one there. Spiral of the bar, lowercase lenticular A with an annularity, 247 million light years distant, RA 115540, declination minus 12 degrees, 1 minute 38 seconds. Too far south to ever make out that annularity, but it is hinted at here, isn't it? Okay, we just turned the corner on things, and we're like 17 minutes in. I have to really speed up. Beautiful galaxy, however. Let's push it all the way up to 150x. Galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 11.5, 3.4 by 1.1 arc minute, spiral with bar, lowercase b, brightest core. Looks like it does have a bar extended. 108 million light years distant. I just have to tell you, this one's probably about 110,000 light years in diameter, so a significant galaxy. RA 115557, declination plus 6, 4455. I'm going to pause, and as I look for the next one, I will show you this again with more stacks. Okay, without going anywhere, NGC 3976 has a neighbor, A. I have to figure out which one it is. It's 3976A, Galaxy Virgo, magnitude 15, 5.5 by 0.2 arc minutes, so it should look a bit edge on, but small. Spiral with a lowercase a, 110 million light years distant. I believe this was line of sight, but I can't be sure. RA is 115602, declination plus 6, 4040. No, those were actually an interacting pair of galaxies at about the same distance, 3976 and A. NGC 3979 is apparent on the 30x screen, although it's rather small, but it has a condensed core. It's a galaxy in Virgo. Magnitude 14.2. We were seeing it, folks. Wow. 1.4 by 1.2 arc minute lenticular spiral, 268 million light years distant. RA 115601, declination minus 2, 4314. NGC 3981 is a little bit south. I do believe it was visible. I didn't really check. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Let's push it all the way up to 150x, capture all that photonage. Galaxy and crater, magnitude 11.3, 5.3 by 2.5 arc minutes. Quite large in appearance size for an 11.3. Spiral with a bar, lowercase bc. I don't really see the bar there, frankly. 81 million light years distant. It's about as large as Messier 31. RA 115607, declination minus 19, 5347. And here we have 9 stacks with nice swirly spiral arms. Before we head off to NGC 3983. And here's a 12 stack view of 39. I believe it was 81 at 105x. NGC 3983 seems to be quite present in 30x field. Pressing it up, we have a bright core with extensions. It's a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 14, 1.1 by 0.3 arc minute. Makes sense. Spiral lowercase a, yep, 194 million light years distant. Smaller than Milky Way. RA 115623, declination plus 23 degrees, 52 minutes and 2 seconds. Thought I'd give you a 150x view of 3983 before we have to skip through some more northerns to 3987. NGC 3987 has some fairly bright, nice galaxies near the center of it. Look at that. All 3 of them looming. Let's see if we can figure out which one it is based on the data. 3987 Galaxy Leo, magnitude 12.9. Well, they're all pretty bright. 2.2 by 0.4 arc minutes. Well, we got 2 edge-ons here. This one's slightly less extended. We probably haven't seen him before. My vote goes for this one here. It's a spiral with a lowercase b. Well, this one seems to have a brighter core than that one, although this one has the brightest. 204 million light years distant. Remember that. Maybe this is all part of a galaxy group. RA 115720 with a declination of plus 25, 1142. Thought I'd give you that 150x view before we go on to 3988. NGC 3988 is a galaxy that's not part of that group, but which one is it? I've got several here. Bright core, fainter core, Edgianer. It's a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 13.3, 0.9 by 0.8, elliptical. Well, ellipticals have the brightest cores. This could probably be a lenticular or an A or something. 0.9 by 0.8, kind of small. 299 million light years distant. RA is 1157.24 with a declination of plus 27 degrees, 52 minutes, and 38 seconds. NGC 3989, probably that one right there. Nice looking. Oh, we're back to that galaxy group. So this was the earlier one. This is probably our next one. That's my spec. 3989, galaxy in Leo, magnitude 14.7. That looks a little bit bright. 0.6 by 0.3. It also looks a little large. Spire with a lowercase b. Yeah, that makes sense in the core. 213 million light years distant, which was, I think the other one was about 200, so it's part of a group. RA 1157.26, declination plus 25, 1357. NGC 3991 is quite apparent in the middle of the field. It's part of that. Is it? No, it's not part of that galaxy group. Not that I can tell. It's a different shape. It's triangular. This one was more extended previously. 3991, galaxy Ursa Majoris, magnitude 13.1, 1.3 by 0.3 arc minutes. I'm going to go with this one, but it has a neighbor. It's an irregular B, so if it's irregular, it's because of this one here, tugging at it. 148 million light years distant. RA 1157.30 with declination plus 32, 2014, 1.3, 148. It's probably about 55,000 light years in diameter. I wanted to throw that in because of its neighbor. Here we have palindromic NGC 3993. Galaxy Leo, magnitude 13.7. All right. This is part of that group once again. Maybe this one here. 13.7, 1.6 by 0.4. That works. Seems to have a knot in it. Spire with a lowercase b, 221 million light years distant, so a little more distant than its neighbors by about 20 million light years or so. RA 1157.37, declination plus 25, 14, 26. I'm hoping we'll get this one. This one may be too faint to be a NGC. NGC 3994 is near a bright star. It may even be visual star, so you could easily find the galaxy. It's in Ursa Majoris, magnitude 12.7, 0.9 by 0.5 arc minutes, spiral with a lowercase c, and peculiarities, no question about that. Look, if this is these two galaxies both have spoilers associated with them, knots in brightness, probably not stars. 146 million light years distant, RA 1157.36, declination plus 32 degrees, 16 minutes, 38 seconds. We are pushing up close to hour 12, the middle of the sidereal time clock. Okay, these bright stars have drooped down a little bit, which means we probably jumped up to this one here. NGC 3995, even though we still have stacks, some of those bright stars do smear. It's a galaxy in Ursa Majoris, magnitude 12.4, 2.6 by 0.9 arc minutes, spiral with just a bar. No other designation, capital B. 149 million light years distant, means it's a largie, maybe 120. Bright ascension, 1157.44 with a declination of plus 32, 17, 38. Let's clean it up before I go on to our next study. Okay, here's our 150x view, NGC 3995 and neighbors. NGC 3996 is quite visible in the field. It's a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 13.4, 0.9 by 0.7 arc minutes, spot with lowercase c, so we are seeing a core with an aura around it. 315 million light years distant, about as large as our Milky Way, which is roughly 90K in diameter. RA 1157.46 with a declination of plus 14 degrees, 17 minutes, 49 seconds. As you see, 3997 is part of that group. Probably this one here, we'll see. Okay, it's a galaxy Leo, magnitude 13.4, that works. 1.6 by 0.7 arc minutes. It's a spiral with a bar, And peculiarities, well, it's probably interacting and there seem to be some knots in it. May have recently absorbed another satellite galaxy. 216 million light years distant, so in the right range, RA 115748 with a declination of plus 25, 16, and 14 seconds. Let's drop it back down to its optimal 105x view and bail. Okay, the time now is 9:36. We're on our final study of the evening for NGC 3999. It's a member of this group of streaky of galaxies here, but I do believe it's going to be this elliptical. Ooh, no. 3999 is a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 15.7, 0.4 by 0.2. That looks, the aspect ratio is wrong. It's a compact, 145 million light years distant. RA is 115756 with a declination of plus 25 degrees 4 minutes and 5 seconds. This group is so interesting that I think it warrants being our out group. We'll use a 30-second exposure to see what we can get. Okay, here's our first stack of that marvelous group of galaxies in Leo. The last one we did was NGC 3999, which was 0.4 by 0.2 arc minutes. This is probably the capital galaxy of the system. And let's see what we're operating at. We are at 105x 20 arc minutes by about 15 field of view. Go to the sky live and center on NGC 3999. You get the 30 arc minute field of view at 150x, which will add about 2 to 3 magnitudes to our current, well, probably 2 because we're now at an exposure time of 30 seconds. We've had 2 stacks. It's looking very, very nice. I'm going to pause and allow it to accumulate a few more stacks, and then we will part the NGC 3950 to 3999 series, which has now tipped the scales towards the second half of the new general catalog galaxies of clusters and nebulae, compiled by J.L.E. Dreyer back in the late 1880s, as I recall. Let's give it another stack or two. Okay, I'm going to start this and allow us to see that last stack flash in the field of view. Come on, you can do this. I may have been a little late in doing this so we could see how the 6th stack, which is really 5, influenced the field of view. Okay, I'm going to hold on. We're at 29 minutes and 20 seconds. We got 5 more seconds. Let's see if we can watch the final stack. You know, it didn't seem to improve it much. So it looks like we just needed about 3 stacks of 30 seconds each to be able to get a really fine view of this NGC galaxy cluster. I think it was 3995, but I'd have to research it. Anyway, I am about to say carpe nocte.